Hello everyone, I'm Shamanth CSAT faculty. I welcome you for the Rajkumar Academy for IAS and KAS exams. As you guys know, there are only 30 days left for prelims. Prelims is not about only GS. Okay, from the past 3 years, the whole dynamics of the exam is leaned towards CSAT. The proof for this is recently announced UPSC Prelims scores. The GS cutoff has came down to 75. Just think guys, it has become 75. The major reason behind this latest cutoff is CSAT. Many of the students who have cleared GS by scoring more than even 100 have failed in CSAT. And what is the reason? The reason are very obvious: lack of practice. Maths is all about practice. You can't read it, you have to practice it. And this is the high time, the last 30 days left, you need lot of practice. In this regard, in this video, I am going to highlight some of the things which you have to focus on related to all the three sections, which is logical reasoning, quant and RC part, so that this paper will become easy. UPSC doesn't make deliberately the paper difficult, but definitely some of the questions in the earlier 3 or 4 years were very difficult. And the students, those who got failed or didn't qualify, they didn't pick the easier questions. Some of the topics from each and every section, we can expect so many questions from. For example, logical reasoning, definitely you can expect the questions from clock, calendar, coding, decoding, alphanumericals, missing numbers, number series, missing alphabet series, directions and distance, blood relationship, analogy, puzzles and seating arrangement. If you count, definitely you will get some up to 15 questions out of these major topics. So if you practice only these things in the next 30 days, okay, out of 15, at least some 10 to 12 you can do. When it comes to the quant part, okay, most of the students feel that quant is difficult, but definitely if you pick smartly, there are some questions which can be easily done using a simple concept of LCM as well as HCF also. Basically, the quant is all about arithmetic. The basic arithmetic skills you must be having. Your basics need to be strong. And the major topics you have to focus on is the percentage, average, time, speed and distance, time and work, ratio and proportions. And average based questions, you can expect the questions on ages also. Okay, when you are doing the percentage, you can expect the questions on SI, CI, profit and loss and discounts. As we are familiar, the lion's share of the questions in the quant part is coming from number system and permutation combination probability. In specifically number system, you focus on classification of numbers. Means what are rational numbers, what are irrational numbers, okay, what are integers, what are the differences. If you know the basic concept of differentiating these things, then the question definitely looks familiar and will be very easy to answer. And also you focus on the divisibility rules. There are many divisibility rules. Divisibility rule of, for example, 2, 3, 7, 9s, everything. Okay, and definitely we are getting questions on this one, as well as remainder concept, as well as factorization, LCM, HCF. If you focus on these 4 to 5 important subsections of the number system, easily you can do up to 15 questions. So I'm talking about the logical reasoning, some 10 to 12 questions. And the arithmetic part, let's say from the percentage, average, time, speed and distance, time and work, ratio, proportions and all, we can get some up to 10 questions and some 10 questions in the 10 to 12 questions in the number system. So you will get questions from permutation combination probability. For permutation combination probability, you go through the PYQs, okay, the questions which are asked from the last 10 years. Many number of times the same questions are asked in a different way. Okay, if you practice thoroughly with conceptual knowledge, definitely you can expect some 6 to 7 questions this time also. So I'm talking about here some up to 40 questions, 35 to 40 questions you have in your hand. If you guys are doing in the next 30 days the same strategy, or else if you are focusing on these concepts and topics only. And when it comes to the RC part, RC from the last 10 years, the number of questions is being changed. Other than that, the way the question is being asked, or else the requirement is being asked. For example, the keywords used in the question asking is, you can say assumption, inference, corollary, implication, implies, crux of the story, main message of the story. This remains same. Okay, if you are familiar about these distinction between the keywords, then definitely the accuracy. Most of the students will do the RC, but I'm talking about the accuracy. Out of 10, you can do 8 to 9 question accurately, not by just generally doing the question. If you are answering to the requirement of the question by knowing the keywords definition. So in RC, we can expect 25 to 30 questions. Some questions definitely will be difficult. No need to answer the difficult question. Answer some at least 15 questions. So 35 to 40, okay, plus or minus 5 there is, plus another 15 if you add that 50 to 55 questions out of 80. Many students will get only this much of time to do. That is 120 minutes. You can't do all the 80 questions. Some questions are meant to be left. You must be smart in leaving the questions also and picking as well. So guys, to attend some 50 to 55 questions, this is the strategy you have to maintain the next 30 days. Do not go for any of the new sources. Depend on the PYQs and try to take mocks as much as possible. Okay, after taking the mocks, come and analyze the things. Okay, what works, what doesn't work, or else how could these questions could be better done. Okay, do not worry about the time management. In the exam, you cannot do any new things, or else do not try to invent new things. Whatever the practice you have done in these topics, try to reflect it same in the exam day. And the students who face difficulty in maths, or else the humanities students, they try to depend only on the RC and the logical reasoning part. But nowadays, logical reasoning, the number of questions is becoming very less. And also the questions which are asked in the logical reasoning, for example, let's say the calendar, okay, the last year, 10 part 10, number of days after which, what was the day? That was the question asked. You need the remainder theorem, which is again, we are going to for the quant there. Hence, basic numeracy is must. If you are taking a direction question, the direction question, again, you have to apply Pythagoras many a times. Okay, there again, the quant is required. So quant is inevitable. Some 10 to 12 questions or up to 15 questions of quant has to be done if you still depend on the RC as well as only logical reasoning. So irrespective of which background or else graduation stream you are from, you have to practice the CSAT. Okay, I personally know the number of students who have scored more than 100 and couldn't able to qualify CSAT. The reason behind is they just ignore the practice. Though you came from the engineering background or else the IIT, at this point of time, this is the high time you have to do the practice. Put the pen on the paper and practice. Do not read things, okay? You cannot recollect anything on that particular time. So no matter how well you are preparing for your mains or else optional, if you don't qualify the CSAT, then the result is obvious. Do not ignore CSAT and do not let CSAT become a hurdle to become a civil servant. Thank you guys and all the best.